These plants are more closely related to chemical weapons than to other plants. Encountering one in the wild could result in a painful death beyond your worst nightmares. Some of these plants warn you with their vibrant, unmistakably poisonous appearance, while others have evolved to mimic their edible relatives, spreading their deadly poison into unsuspecting victims.
Number 11. Doll's eyes. The Actaea pachypoda, fondly known as the white baneberry, or doll's eyes, is a plant that commands attention with its striking appearance. The plant's white berries and black stigma scars give it a look that's hard to forget because they resemble the eyes of antique Chinese dolls, earning it a nickname that's both interesting and at the same time unsettling. As a member of the Actaea genus and Ranunculaceae family, this flowering plant is native to the eastern regions of North America, spanning eastern Canada and the Midwestern and eastern United States. Its enchanting beauty has made it a sought-after ornamental plant in traditional and wildlife gardens. Here, it thrives in shaded areas with rich, loamy soil, regular watering, and good drainage, perfectly replicating its natural habitat. This allows the plant to flourish and showcase its unique beauty, making it a popular choice among gardeners and nature enthusiasts alike. The plant's berries, though stunning as they ripen through the summer and cling to the branches until frost, are highly toxic because they contain powerful cardiogenic toxins, potent chemicals that can rapidly sedate and disrupt human cardiac muscle tissue, making them the most lethal part of the plant. Every component of this plant is extremely poisonous, containing a deadly arsenal of toxins that can prove fatal with even the slightest exposure. The highest concentration of these lethal compounds is found in its roots and berries, making even a single touch or accidental ingestion capable of bringing even the strongest heart to a standstill. Consuming any part of this plant can cause severe symptoms like intense stomach cramps, a burning sensation in the throat and mouth, dizziness, diarrhea, and hallucinations. More importantly, ingestion of a significant quantity of the berries can escalate to cardiac arrest and ultimately lead to death. This beautiful but deadly plant is a silent killer, reminding us that nature's most eye-catching creations often come with hidden dangers. Number 10. Water hemlock. When it comes to the king of disguises, the water hemlock takes the crown, as this deadly and potent plant can be easily mistaken for celery by unsuspecting individuals. Also known as cicuta, it boasts slender stems and feathery leaves that bear a striking resemblance to its harmless look-alike, celery. However, beneath its innocent appearance lies a deadly secret. Cicuta is a highly poisonous plant that can grow up to 8 feet tall, thriving in wet environments like ponds, streams, marshes, and swamps. Native to temperate regions of the Northern Hemisphere, its toxic roots spread rapidly, posing a significant threat to those who confuse it with celery. The consequences of this mistaken identity can be devastating, earning its reputation as a silent killer in plain sight. But to be on the safer side, it's important to note the notable characteristics that set water hemlock apart from its look-alike. Its stem grows straight up, with branches that split off from the main stalk. The stem itself is smooth and hollow, like a tube. At the base of the stem, a thick and knobby root system forms, storing energy and nutrients for the plant. In the summer, small white flowers bloom in clusters that resemble tiny umbrellas. Upon close inspection of the leaves, it becomes clear that the veins do not quite reach the edge. Instead, they lead to small notches. But the most important thing to know about water hemlock is what's inside its roots. They contain a special liquid that turns reddish-brown when it's exposed to air and gives off a strong smell, similar to parsnips. Now that we possess the knowledge to accurately identify water hemlock, we can take essential precautions to avoid this extremely toxic plant, widely regarded as one of the most poisonous species in North America. This is due to the presence of a deadly poison called cicutoxin, a toxic compound found throughout the plant's entire life cycle and in all its parts, including the leaves, stems, and flowers. The roots contain the highest concentration of this toxic substance, particularly during the early spring months when the plant emerges from its dormant state and begins to grow anew. When ingested, cichatoxin acts as a powerful stimulant on the central nervous system, unleashing severe toxicity that can lead to grave health complications or even death. There have been numerous reports of severe poisoning and death dating back to 1670. And sadly, this toxic trend continues into recent centuries, including the 20th and 21st centuries, claiming lives and highlighting the persistent danger posed by this highly toxic plant. When humans or animals ingest the plant, the primary symptom of poisoning is severe and generalized seizures that can affect the entire body, leading to a range of serious health complications. These symptoms can start as quickly as 15 minutes after eating the plant, and in some cases, they may progress rapidly. Initially, people may experience a range of distressing symptoms, including nausea, vomiting, severe abdominal pain, tremors, confusion, weakness, dizziness, and drowsiness. However, in some cases, the first sign of poisoning may be a sudden and intense seizure, which can be extremely alarming. If someone is poisoned by the plant, medical treatment typically involves administering activated charcoal to reduce the absorption of the toxin in the gut. Additionally, supportive care is crucial, including the use of anticonvulsant medications like benzodiazepines to help control seizures. In severe cases, high doses of these medications may be necessary to stop the seizures, and further intensive medical care may be required, including intubation and mechanical ventilation, to ensure the person's safety and survival. It's essential to handle this plant with extreme caution and seek immediate medical help if ingestion occurs, as prompt treatment is crucial to preventing long-term damage or even death. Number 9. Rosary pea. If you ever encounter the vibrant red seeds of the Abrus precatorius plant, also known as the Jequirity bean or rosary pea, exercise extreme caution and avoid them altogether. This is because these plants are highly toxic and dangerous if ingested. Specifically, the Abrus precatorius plant is a slender, perennial climber characterized by its long, pinnate leaflet leaves that wrap around trees, shrubs, and hedges. However, these seeds are also highly toxic due to the presence of abrin. In fact, ingesting just one seed, if well chewed, can be fatal to both adults and children. Despite its toxic properties, it might surprise you to know that this deadly seed is worn as a necklace and rosary in India and other tropical countries, where it gets its other names such as bead vine, black-eyed Susan, and coral bead plant. Found in countries like Asia and Australia, Abrus precatorius can quickly become a problematic weed, outcompeting native plants and spreading uncontrollably. When introduced to new areas, it rapidly establishes itself, crowds out indigenous species, and becomes a persistent pest, difficult to eradicate. This plant has become a highly invasive species in warm and tropical regions, spreading to many parts of the world. Once established, it develops deep roots that are hard to remove. Its rapid growth, hard seeds, and ability to produce new shoots make it extremely challenging to eradicate, solidifying its reputation as a highly troublesome and resilient invasive species. Even if removed, it can easily regrow, making prevention a difficult task. To control its spread, herbicides like glyphosate can be effective, but they require careful application by experienced professionals to avoid causing more harm than good. The symptoms of abrin poisoning are very similar to those of ricin poisoning, but abrin is much more potent, almost 75 times more toxic. While the deadly dose of ricin is already extremely small, the fatal dose of abrin is even smaller, making it a highly dangerous toxin. However, there is a key difference. When ingested in seeds, abrin is absorbed by the body much slower than ricin, even if the seeds are chewed and the outer coating is broken. This slower absorption rate can provide a window of opportunity for successful medical treatment and rescue efforts in some cases, potentially saving lives. If consumed, abrin can cause severe symptoms, including nausea, vomiting, convulsions, liver failure, and eventually death, typically after several days. Number 8. Lily of the Valley. It's a surprising truth that some of the most fragrant and beautiful flowers can also be the most deadly. A prime example is the lily of the valley, also known by its scientific name, Convallaria majalis, as well as Maybelle's, Our Lady's Tears, and Mary's Tears. This charming woodland plant produces sweetly scented, bell-shaped white flowers that dangle in clusters, filling the air with a powerful and alluring fragrance in the spring. Native to the cool, temperate regions of Asia, Europe, and North America, the lily of the valley is a popular choice for gardens and floral arrangements. In fact, its scent is so captivating that the renowned perfumer Christian Dior has used it as inspiration for one of his signature fragrances. However, despite its charming appearance and sweet fragrance, the lily of the valley harbors a deadly secret. It is a highly poisonous plant that demands careful handling, even as it remains a sought-after choice for wedding bouquets. The lily of the valley plant contains a high concentration of cardiac glycosides, making it extremely toxic if ingested by humans or animals. In fact, the plant contains around 38 different types of these toxic compounds. Every part of the plant is potentially poisonous, including the bright red berries that might appeal to children. If someone ingests any part of the plant, it can lead to serious symptoms like stomach pain, nausea, vomiting, and irregular heartbeats. It's crucial to handle this plant with caution and keep it out of reach of children and pets to avoid any potential harm. Number 7. Oleander. Widely recognized for its stunning beauty, Nerium oleander, commonly known as oleander or rosebay, is a popular ornamental shrub or small tree cultivated in temperate and subtropical regions around the world. As the sole species in the Nerium genus, it belongs to the Apocynaceae family, specifically the Apocynaceae subfamily. Due to its extensive cultivation, its exact origin remains unclear, although it's often linked to the Mediterranean basin. Nerium oleander is found in many warm regions, including the Mediterranean, Africa, the Middle East, Southern Asia, and southern China. Nerium oleander, a versatile and resilient plant, thrives in river valleys and stream beds, where it can adapt to extreme conditions, surviving long droughts and withstanding winter floods. This remarkable plant is widely cultivated in subtropical and tropical regions worldwide. Growing up to 7 to 20 feet tall, Nerium oleander can be maintained as a natural shrub or pruned into a small tree with a single trunk. While it's tolerant of both drought and excessive water, it's sensitive to prolonged frost. Throughout the year, clusters of beautiful white, pink, or red flowers with 5 petals bloom, reaching their peak during the summer months. The fruit of the Nerium oleander plant is a unique, elongated structure consisting of 2 narrow follicles that burst open when ripe, releasing a multitude of soft, downy seeds. However, beware of the plant's toxic nature, as it contains several harmful compounds that have led to its historical classification as a poisonous plant. Fortunately, its intensely bitter taste makes it unappealing to humans and most animals, minimizing the risk of poisoning. While rare, ingestion of significant amounts can lead to a range of unpleasant symptoms, including nausea, vomiting, excessive salivation, abdominal pain, bloody diarrhea, and irregular heart rhythms. Additionally, prolonged exposure to the plant's sap can cause skin irritation, eye inflammation, and dermatitis, making it essential to handle the plant with great caution. Number 6. White snakeroot. Found in the wild throughout eastern and central North America, Ageratina altissima, a plant with the foreboding nickname white snakeroot, rich weed, or white sanicle, is a toxic perennial herb that belongs to the Asteraceae family. Its complex history reveals an older name, Eupatorium rugosum, but botanists have re-evaluated and reclassified the genus, moving some species to new genera. Today, Ageratina altissima grows abundantly in the central and eastern United States, stretching from Texas to Maine and Florida, as well as in the Canadian provinces of Quebec, Ontario, and the Northwest Territories. This remarkably adaptable species grows in diverse environments, including wooded areas, dense brush thickets, and shady spots with exposed soil. It can also grow invasively in shaded landscapes and hedgerows, outcompeting other vegetation. However, this plant harbors a toxic secret. It contains the poisonous compound trematol. When cattle ingest white snakeroot, the toxin is absorbed and contaminates their meat and milk, posing a risk to humans who consume these products. If ingested in sufficient quantities, trematol can cause a potentially harmful condition in humans known as trematol poisoning, or milk sickness. This name originates from the historical practice of humans ingesting the toxin through contaminated milk from cows that had fed on snakeroot. Notably, while the plant's toxin levels decrease by 80% after drying and storage for 5 years, its toxic properties persist, remaining a threat to humans and animals alike. Number 5. Suicide tree. Not all trees are meant for relaxation, and the Cerbera odolum tree, also known as the suicide tree or pong-pong, is a chilling reminder of this. A species in the Apocynaceae family, it produces a deadly fruit called Oleander. The seeds of this fruit contain a powerful poison called cerberin, which has been used in the past for trials by ordeal, suicide, and intentional poisoning. Native to South and Southeast Asia, the Pacific Islands, and Queensland, Australia, this tree thrives in coastal areas with sandy soils, riverbanks, and mangrove swamps. It's also cultivated in tropical regions like Hawaii as an ornamental plant. Due to its resemblance to the highly toxic oleander plant, Cerbera odolum is often mistaken for its cousin. Growing up to 10 to 12 meters tall, this tree boasts glossy leaves, white flowers with yellow centers, and produces a milky white latex. The fruit of the Cerbera odolum tree, growing up to 5 to 10 centimeters in length, transforms from green to red as it ripens. Inside its green, fibrous shell lies a kernel that contains 2 highly toxic seeds. When exposed to air, the kernel's color changes from white to violet, gray, and eventually brown or black. The poisonous compound cerberin, found in the kernel, is a cardiac glycoside that disrupts the heart's functioning by blocking sodium and potassium ATPase. Just one kernel contains a lethal dose of this toxin. Ingestion of cerberin can lead to severe symptoms, including abnormal heart rhythms, a low platelet count, and gastrointestinal issues like burning mouth sensations, vomiting, and nausea. In severe cases, it can cause irregular breathing, headaches, coma, and even death. Some cases may not show any symptoms at all. Cerberin poisoning can be managed with temporary cardiac pacing and other supportive measures. Unfortunately, Cerbera odolum is often used for intentional poisonings and suicides, as its bitter taste can be easily masked by spicy food, making it undetectable to the victim. Number 4. Deadly nightshade. Atropa belladonna, commonly known as belladonna or deadly nightshade, is a highly toxic perennial herbaceous plant native to Europe and Western Asia, including Turkey. Despite belonging to the same Solanaceae family as edible plants like tomatoes, potatoes, and eggplant, Atropa belladonna's foliage and berries contain extremely toxic tropane alkaloids, including atropine, scopolamine, and hyoscyamine. These toxins can cause delirium, hallucinations, and other harmful effects when ingested. Interestingly, These compounds are also used in pharmaceuticals as anticholinergics and are found in several plant tribes within the Solanaceae family, such as hyoscyamine, mandragora, and daiquiri. However, Atropa belladonna stands out due to its unpredictable and potentially harmful effects on humans, requiring treatment with antidotes like physostigmine or pilocarpine if ingested. The plant has a rich history, earning names like belladonna, deadly nightshade, and devil's berries, which reflect its toxic nature. Its bell-shaped flowers are dull purple with a yellow-green base and emit a faint scent. The fruits are green berries that ripen to a shiny black, approximately 1.5 centimeters in diameter, and are sweet enough to be consumed by animals. Although the berries contain toxic alkaloids, they are dispersed through animal droppings, allowing the plant to be easily dispersed. Despite its beauty, belladonna is considered one of the most poisonous plants known, and ingesting it can be extremely dangerous, especially for vulnerable individuals. This includes people with certain health conditions, such as pregnancy complications, heart problems, stomach issues, and mental health disorders, who may be more at risk to its toxic effects. The entire plant, from its leaves and roots to its berries, contains toxic tropane alkaloids, specifically atropine, scopolamine, and hyoscyamine. These compounds target the nervous system, causing severe symptoms if ingested, including enlarged pupils, blurred vision, rapid heartbeat, and even convulsions. The risks are real, as demonstrated by a 2009 incident where a woman mistakenly ate 6 belladonna berries, thinking they were blueberries, and experienced severe poisoning symptoms. The toxic berries also contain atropine, which disrupts the nervous system's control over automatic functions like sweating, breathing, and heart rate. This disruption can lead to dangerous symptoms, making prompt medical attention crucial. Fortunately, antidotes like physostigmine or pilocarpine can counteract the effects of belladonna poisoning. Belladonna's distribution is widespread, spanning from Ireland in the west to western Ukraine and the Iranian province of Gilan in the east. It has also been naturalized or introduced in parts of Canada, North Africa, and the United States, making it a potentially hazardous plant to encounter. Number 3. Wolf's Bane. For fans of werewolf folklore, the name Wolf's Bane might sound eerily familiar. This mysterious-sounding name is actually associated with a genus of flowering plants called Aconitum. This diverse group comprises over 250 species of herbaceous perennial plants, primarily native to the rugged mountainous regions of the Northern Hemisphere, spanning across North America, Europe, and Asia. These plants thrive in the moist yet well-draining soils of mountain meadows, where they can be found growing in abundance. The name Aconitum originates from ancient Greek, with 2 possible sources. One possibility is the Greek word akon, meaning dart or javelin, as the plant's toxic substance was used to poison the tips of these weapons. Alternatively, it may come from akonai, referencing the rocky terrain where the plant was believed to grow. Additionally, the Greek name Lycoctonum, literally translating to wolf's bane, suggests that the plant's juice was used to poison arrows or baits for hunting wolves. In English, the plant is also known as monkshood, due to its distinctive cylindrical helmet-shaped flower, which resembles a monk's hood. This plant has a notorious history of being used as a poison, and for good reason. Most species of Aconitum are extremely toxic and require careful handling to avoid harm. Despite their deadly reputation, some Aconitum hybrids have been recognized for their beauty and earned prestigious gardening awards, such as the Royal Horticultural Society's Award of Garden Merit. In fact, some varieties are even used by florists to add a touch of elegance to arrangements, highlighting the plant's striking appearance and versatility. The monkshood plant and its relatives in the Aconitum genus contain high levels of extremely toxic compounds called aconitine and related alkaloids. particularly in their roots and tubers. Even tiny amounts, as little as 2 milligrams of aconite or 1 gram of the plant, can be fatal, causing respiratory failure or heart failure. Aconitine is a powerful neurotoxin and cardiotoxin that disrupts the normal functioning of nerve and heart cells, leading to an overload of sodium. This can cause a range of severe symptoms, including diarrhea, convulsions, irregular heartbeats, and even death. Simply touching the plant can cause mild to severe toxicity, leading to headaches, nausea, palpitations, and numbness or tingling sensations in the face and extremities. Prolonged exposure can lead to more severe and potentially life-threatening effects. Number 2. Castor bean. For most people who use castor oil, it may come as a surprise that this versatile oil with numerous health benefits is derived from a poisonous plant. This plant, Ricinus communis, is a perennial flowering plant that belongs to the spurge family and is commonly known as the castor bean or castor oil plant. It's a unique species that has sparked scientific interest, with researchers currently studying its evolution and relationship to other plants using modern genetic tools. The castor plant has a fascinating reproduction system, utilizing a combination of self-pollination and cross-pollination through wind or insects. And despite its name, the castor bean seed is not a true bean, but rather a distinct seed that contains the toxic compound ricin. The castor plant originally came from the southeastern Mediterranean, East Africa, and India, but now it's found in many tropical regions. People also grow it as a decorative plant in other parts of the world. The seeds of the castor plant are used to make castor oil, which has many uses. These seeds are special because they contain a lot of oil, between 40% and 60%, which is made up of triglycerides, mainly ricinolein. However, the seeds of the castor oil plant also contain a powerful toxin called ricin, found in smaller amounts throughout the plant. As few as 4 to 8 seeds can be lethal to adults due to the high toxicity of ricin. Beyond its toxic seeds, the castor plant poses additional risks, as it is extremely likely to cause allergic reactions and is rated as a severe allergen. Inhaling its lightweight pollen, which easily becomes airborne, can trigger asthma attacks and allergic reactions in the lungs. Moreover, the plant's sap can cause skin rashes, and individuals allergic to it may experience rashes from touching any part of the plant, including leaves, flowers, or seeds. Some people may also be allergic to the latex sap of the related Hevea brasiliensis plant. Despite these risks, actual cases of poisoning are rare. Ironically, the castor oil plant is considered the world's most poisonous common plant, according to Guinness World Records. Ricin poisoning can cause symptoms to appear anywhere from 2 to 36 hours after ingestion, including burning sensations, stomach cramps, bloody diarrhea, and vomiting. If left untreated, these symptoms can lead to severe dehydration, low blood pressure, and even death within 3 to 5 days. But prompt medical attention can lead to a full recovery in most cases. The toxin in the castor oil plant acts as a natural defense against insects like aphids, and scientists have even explored using ricin as a bug killer. But don't worry, the castor oil you buy in stores is safe for humans to use, both inside and outside the body, when used normally. Number 1. Tobacco. When it comes to plants that can be easily accessed and can also kill, no other plant earns the title of the world's deadliest foe like tobacco. Its widespread availability and lethal potential make it a formidable force, capable of unleashing devastation on a massive scale. But what makes tobacco so deadly? The answer lies in its origins. As a member of the Nightshade family, a vast and diverse group of plants, tobacco boasts over 70 species, with Nicotiana tabacum and Nicotiana rustica being the most prominent. The dried leaves of these species are meticulously harvested and transformed into a range of products such as tobacco cigarettes, cigars, pipes, shishas, and snus. These products all share a common ingredient: nicotine, a highly addictive and potent substance. Using tobacco is a leading cause of many fatal diseases, particularly those that affect the heart, liver, and lungs, as well as various types of cancer. In fact, the World Health Organization has identified tobacco use as the single most preventable cause of death worldwide. The reason tobacco smoking is so harmful is because it contains a toxic mix of chemicals, including carbon monoxide, cyanide, and cancer-causing substances. Cigarette smoke alone contains thousands of harmful substances like arsenic, formaldehyde, and cadmium, which have been proven to cause heart and lung diseases and cancer. In 2004 alone, tobacco use claimed 5.4 million lives, and over the course of the 20th century, it led to 100 million deaths. The United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention echoes this sentiment, describing tobacco use as the most critical preventable risk to human health in developed countries and a significant contributor to premature death globally. The devastating health consequences of tobacco use are evident in the fact that a single 10-hectare field of tobacco used to produce cigarettes is estimated to cause 30 deaths annually. This highlights the urgent need for continued efforts to reduce tobacco use and mitigate its deadly impact on global health. And yet, these harmful substances also affect non-smokers, who are often involuntarily exposed to tobacco smoke. Breathing in this smoke can lead to a multitude of devastating health problems, including heart and lung diseases, various types of cancer, particularly in the lungs, larynx, mouth, and pancreas. Furthermore, secondhand smoke exposure poses a significant threat to non-smokers, causing lung cancer and heart disease. Annually, this exposure leads to approximately 3,000 lung cancer deaths and 46,000 heart disease deaths annually among non-smokers in the United States alone. So, it's advisable to stay clear of this drugs at all costs. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.